Welcome. We're making caramel. And I know I made caramel already for the flan and also for the caramel brownies, but this is going to be different and better. So let's get started. These are going to be for Snickers brownie. Alkaline vegan Snickers brownie, of course. Yes, this is alkaline caramel, vegan caramel. So tune in and let's get going. Actually, I'm going to move this over a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a half cup of oil. Hello, welcome. If you're just tuning in, thank you for the thumbs up. You rock. So we're starting out with a half cup of oil. I used grapeseed oil, but honestly, I would have used avocado oil, but I ran out. So grapeseed will be fine. But this is instead of butter. So I usually use avocado oil as a butter replacement. Okay, the reason I did oil first, so that the agave doesn't stick to my measuring cup like crazy. Now we're going to add a cup of agave. Not quite, but I have more, so it's okay. How are you doing today? Merry Christmas, by the way, if you celebrate, and even if you don't. Actually, someone wanted me to talk about Christmas. I mentioned it in my last video, so I will talk about that once I get the caramel going. Once I get it boiling away. Okay, there's 1 cup. Nice and sweet. And then, since I'm live, I'll just hurry up. And the next one is, where did it go? Coconut milk. So this is the coconut milk. There's a link in the description. I usually get the big, huge cartons of it, but this is a smaller one. This is a little bit more than a cup, so I'm gonna measure it. I would probably just pour the whole thing in, but since we're doing this on video, might as well be exact so that the people watching can get the exact result. All right, so here's 1 cup of coconut milk, and I'm gonna start it up. I'm gonna turn it down on a low heat. Start cooking this. And I am also going to put some more, but I'm gonna start heating it up first. So that's not the end. I got my new spatulas. Thank you to my sister, if she's watching. Even if she's not watching. Now, I don't know if this oil is gonna give us a hard time since it's not butter. I was thinking about adding some last time to the last caramel, but the last one in the caramel brownies I made, the caramel was a little bit too thin, and it swamped the brownie. They were still delicious, but I would have made it a little thicker next time. this time. But these are going to be different brownies. This is not the entire brownie recipe, but you can find the brownie recipe. Okay, I'm going to let this heat up before. But here are the brownies I made, actually. They're sitting right here. There's a bunch of ingredients in the way. These are the brownies that I'm going to be making that are going to be the Snickers brownie. They're just like the first brownie recipe I made, but no walnuts in them. So these ones, obviously I haven't eaten them, but they're almost exactly the same, just with no walnuts. So this caramel is going to be going on top of these brownies. But this is just the caramel recipe at this point. I made marshmallow yesterday, if you didn't see that. That marshmallow is also going to be used in the Snickers brownies. Alright, so this is going to take some time to heat up. I'm going to mix some agar, and I'm going to add some vanilla as well once this heats up. This is the marshmallow I made yesterday. I put it in an old applesauce jar just to recycle. But as you can see, it's totally marshmallowy. Doesn't come out if you hold it upside down. Nothing. Not even close. I was really happy with this. I am really happy with it. And look at that, I've got an entire jar of marshmallow fluff now. That turned out great. Check that recipe out. And I'm going to be using that for the brownies like I mentioned. And I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Since we're not melting sugar, we should be okay. Sugar is a lot more unstable, but we're not using sugar, we're using agave. So we shouldn't have any real problems with this. Oh, there we go. I see some bubbles along the edge. Turn a light on too. Oh, there we go. Wow. That makes a big difference. All right, hello, welcome if you're just tuning in. We're making caramel, and it's going to be it's going to be a thick layer. It's going to be a little bit squishy caramel, not hard. Kind of like I made caramel in the flan, but that was more like a crack. You could crack the kind of caramel, more like toffee. But this is going to be thicker, and I'm going to be using it, like I was saying, for a layer on these brownies later. So I'm very excited about that. We've got a couple more things that we need to add to this, but right now I'm just bringing it up to temperature until it starts boiling away. And then I'm going to add a couple more things. And if you have any questions or comments, I will log in my iPad and check to make sure no one's trying to contact. So where are you tuning in from? Are you having a good Christmas? Are you doing anything? Anything fun? Hopefully something. Although every day could be a holiday. Especially if you're making Snickers brownies. And I did put some powerful ingredients in those brownies, so they're very energizing. All right. Here we go, starting to bubble now, finally. Now I gotta make sure this does not burn. We don't want any burnt bits. So you wanna get the corners, because sometimes they have a tendency to burn in the corner of the pot, but as long as you have a little edge on your spatula, you can get right in there, no problem. Ooh yeah, here we go, boiling away. Now as it gets exciting. Hello, if you're just tuning in, welcome. Awesome. Okay, so, it smells good. Now it's starting to smell interesting. I'm going to add a couple key ingredients here. And then we're just going to boil this down until it's the thickness that we want it. Just want to make sure it does not burn. Okay, so I'm going to, while this is heating away, going crazy, I'm going to mix a little bit of water in with some agar. This is the agar brand that I use. It's seaweed extract and it's a gelatin replacement. I used it in the marshmallow yesterday. So I'm not going to use as much today. I'm only going to use, and I'll do this over here. I'm only going to use, and I should keep stirring this. So I would have mixed this agar already. I was going to put the agar directly in, but then I don't want it making any little clumps. So I'm going to put the agar with some water first and then add it in. Just want to keep stirring that so that it does not burn on the bottom. Okay, this time I'm just using 1 teaspoon of agar. Okay, so about a heaping teaspoon. All right. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water, probably just 1/8 of a cup. There's 1/4 of a cup. I'm probably just going to add a little splash of water, like maybe 1/8 of a cup, so that I can absorb that powder. But first, I'm going to stir this. Don't want it to burn. Ooh, it's looking good, isn't it? What do you think? Comment below and let me know if you've ever had alkaline or vegan caramel before. I don't know why the live video is not showing up on my screen though. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Alright, I want to check this. Oh, no chats yet. Alright, so I just got a little bit of water. Oh, I've got an echo. Hold on 1 second. Alright, here we go. So here's the agar and water. Just want to, oops. Okay. I'm just gonna let that sit for a minute. Make sure this is not burning. Excellent. What do you think so far? It smells good. Are the comments turned on? I don't see any comments. I don't know if it's because you didn't comment or if it's because they're not on. Let me know in the comments if you're there. And if you haven't already, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Ooh, it's thickening. So, I'm going to add the vanilla to this gelatin. I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon. Alright. Now I got to get in there and stir that. It's thickening up. Alright. Looking caramely yet? It's still very thin. Alright, so I've got my agar and vanilla here. I might want to use more agar than that, actually, to really thicken this up well. Ooh. Last time it was, I made caramel brownies, which they were very, very good, but I wanted the caramel to be thicker. So I'm going to make sure it's thick enough this time, and I'm going to add another teaspoon of agar, just to make sure that it's... Now agar really doesn't have a flavor, but... Okay, so that was 2 teaspoons total, and 1/8 cup of water. Alright, that looks better. This is what I was going for. See that? That's more of a gel here. You could use sea moss gel, but it might taste too strong. I thought this agar smelled a little bit like sea moss gel. It's almost the same thing. The agar is a seaweed extract. But oops, I bumped the camera. Pardon me. Alright, this is looking good. And you just want to make sure that this is not burning. Did you just see that drip shoot across the room? Alright, this is turning out very well so far. I'm going to add this right now. All right. Wow, it thickened that up right away. You have no idea how many caramel recipes I've watched in the last couple months. It's very interesting what other people are using for caramel, and very unhealthy and a little bit disgusting, but we're using the healthiest things that we can, and should be the same result as far as taste, but much better result as far as health. Definitely. Because, yeah, just, you know, when you're growing up, you don't usually question what's in the food, but if you know a little bit about my story from the other videos, I found out the hard way that being healthy is difficult in this day and age, because the companies lie to you about what's natural and what's healthy. Of course they want to sell stuff, and that's all they care about most of the time. So if they say something's healthy, they probably don't care, honestly. I see a lot of stuff labeled as healthy in the store, and it's not. This is getting really thick, so it's getting there. Smells great too. Now we've got that, we've got that vanilla in there, and the caramelizing agave together makes such a good scent. And thank you for whoever gave me the thumbs up. I appreciate it. That helps YouTube know that it's a decent video. Otherwise, they don't know and they won't share it with anyone. So I appreciate any comments and any thumbs ups. Shares are also good too. Any help to spread the word on the channel, I appreciate, because I actually have over 200 videos. Did you know that? I've got over 200 videos now, and my channel's starting to gain some popularity in the small niche of the alkaline vegan community, and I appreciate that. It's a great group of people, and I've got some great subscribers that are actually brilliant and awesome people. So we do live Q&As. Usually I've been doing them on Sundays recently. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me now. But last Sunday I did 3 hours live, question and answer, and it was fun. We got some great questions and a lot of interesting stuff going on. A lot of great people tuning in and a really positive vibe, which I appreciate, because not all of social media is positive. And not all people are positive, but wow, this is getting very close. It's getting nice and bubbly. I want to make sure it's thick enough. And then I'm going to pour it on these brownies. But if you don't, you can pour it on wax paper or in a jar. And you could use it, you could probably dip apples in it. You could probably pour this on, spread it on cookies. I'm sure you could chop it into little caramel cubes. That's what the consistency that it should be. Should be nice and thick, but also still chewy and not too brittle or wet. Right in the middle. It should be like a nice 1/2 inch on the top of the brownies. Oh, and I'm also on these, it's not part of the caramel recipe, but I'm gonna pour, once I pour the caramel on, I'm gonna put some chopped up Brazil nuts in it. But I'll do another video once I'm done with the Snickers brownies, that's what this is gonna be if you're just tuning in. And I'll do another video on that just so, but I did make the marshmallow already yesterday. So I'm pretty much ready to do that. As soon as this caramel is done, it's gonna go on the top of those brownies. And then I'm gonna put some nuts on it. But you could also just make it into something else. So this is the kind of caramel that I've been wanting, and it looks like it's the correct consistency so far. I'm very happy with it at this point. Gotta make sure to keep stirring though. It does have a tendency to, it's not burning, but I'm talking more than stirring. Mmm. It's getting very, very thick. Just want it to be a little bit more thick because the last time I poured it on the brownies, it all went down the edges and glued them to the pan, even though they were still fine and amazing actually. But this time I want that thick layer, complete layer of thick caramel. Alright, I'm going to turn them off soon, but I'm going to try to get it as thick as I can. With that agar-agar in there, it should even thicken up more once it cools. Smells like toffee or like smells amazing. Very simple recipe. Oh yeah, that is thick now. Look at that. Oh yeah. So I want it to drip a little bit thicker once we'll go a little bit more, and then I'll be putting it on the brownies. But yeah, you could pour this onto a cookie sheet with some, I think wax paper would be decent. Wow, look at that. It looks great. I mean, I'm happy that this worked without butter. None of the traditional ingredients were used. But it looks totally, it looks absolutely like caramel, like all right. Yeah, I'll do a time lapse of this maybe later when I have a chance to edit it. Okay. Very, very thick. Smells really good. It's very close to being done. Wow. Just trying to keep it off the side so that it doesn't burn a gummy layer. All right, this is looking excellent. It's just about done. Very caramely, very thick. Wow, I'm impressed actually. Pleasantly surprised. It's always good to make something completely a new way with completely different ingredients than traditional, and it still worked. That makes me very happy. Whenever I can make something alkaline version and have it not even be noticeable. Wow, look how great it looks now. That is Carmelin, that's for sure. Just about done. I keep just hanging on a little longer because I want it to be as thick as possible without being solid. But I don't think this is going to solidify because of the ingredients. Oh yes. Okay. Just making sure that it doesn't burn. It's getting, I can tell where it would burn. There are a couple spots that it's, some people use a whisk to keep stirring it, but if your spatula has a corner, then it helps to keep it out of the burning in that edge around the outside. Okay. Wow. Amazing. All right, I think I'm gonna call it. What do you think? Is it thick enough? Is it done? Trying to get some audience feedback here. Are the comments even turned on? It's looking very thick and gloppy. Exactly what we want. It almost looks like the marshmallow. I mean, this was kind of similar process. It's interesting. Although obviously we don't whip this, but the marshmallow got whipped after. And I'll be showing you the marshmallow in the next video where I finish making the Snickers brownies. But if you didn't see, I showed this a few minutes ago, but if you're just tuning in, this is a whole applesauce jar of marshmallow I made. Alkaline vegan marshmallow fluff. Can you believe it? Turned out so well. I'm very happy about that. Very happy to make these, what would be super toxic and super unhealthy foods, but we're making it into something that our body should be able to process, actually, which is so we can actually enjoy a cheat day without actually cheating. Everyone's always concerned about the cheat day and if I do cheat days or not, and I don't. And one of the reasons why is because I don't need to, because I can make the thing I want alkaline. All right, it's very, very thick. I think we're good. Smells really good. It's been about 30 minutes total. And yeah, that's exceptionally thick. So we just have to hope that it solidifies in like a half-inch layer on my brownies. Ooh, look how good that looks. Wow. It just changed consistencies like in the last 30 seconds. It's now very glossy. It just got super glossy, and see how slow the bubbles are coming? I think it just reached the next level of thickness. Now, this that I just scraped onto the edge, that is the consistency that I want. See how thick that is? And it's not even dripping. So I'm trying to get the whole pot to that consistency so that I can pour it into the brownies without it going down the cracks and into the bottom of the pan. It should sit on the top in a layer. Wow. All right. It's super thick. I think it's time to go for it. I'm a little bit more patient when I'm not live, but when I have an audience, I feel like gotta finish it and make a good end result for the camera. Yeah, this is super thick. Super thick. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it off and just let it cool for a minute before I pour it on. I'm not gonna let it cool too long because I don't want it to solidify in the bottom of this pot or anything. But before I pour it on, I just want to play around in it with the burner turned off so that it's not boiling it to the bottom. Yeah, okay, this is great. It's exactly what I'm looking for. I feel like I'm 8 years old and that it's my birthday cake or something. Wow! Fantastic. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but definitely caramel. Absolutely. All right, I think this is ready. I'm gonna move this over. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's pour this on here and see how it goes. If you're just tuning in, here's my caramel. Wow! Very happy. Very happy with how it turned out. I had to be patient and let it go longer and longer, but that's all you got to do. It was very easy. All you had to do was just be patient and stir. All right, let me get this. Let me get the right hand here. Okay. And I'm just going to dump it on. There might be some that go down the crack. Oh well. Yeah, that's better than last time. Excellent. It might end up going down the edges a little bit because the brownies pulled away from the edge when they cool. And I've had the brownies sitting all night. So I did not cool them in the fridge, I just sat them out all night. But all right, I'm trying to get a good shot. Oops. Now I'm gonna get all of it I can out of here. And then I'm gonna stick these in the fridge so that it can set. Oh, I'm covering up oh wow, the pan looks disgusting. All right, got a little bit more to scoop out of here, but got almost all of it. Look at that mess. And it's dangling and it's starting to dry in long strings. All right. Well, looks, exactly how I wanted it to look. I'm very happy. And look at these dangling strings. That it's drying already. That's good. That's what I want. That's what I wanted it to do. All right, I'm gonna stick this in the fridge and then I'm gonna lick this off like I'm 8. Oh, here we go. Actually, I'm gonna lick it first, but I wanna show you on camera so that you can see my reaction because I haven't tried this yet. All right, let me stick this in the fridge. Actually, I can just let it cool for a minute here. Oh, some went back into that crack somehow. That's not cool. Oh, that's just this sticking out. Hello. Hold on one second. Let me fix this shot. Here we go where my hair is never put together. All right, I'm gonna try this right now just so that you can see my reaction. Yeah, good. It's not sickening. It's not sickeningly sweet. I thought about putting 2 cups of agave, and I think, yeah, 1 was okay because there's so much of it on the top layer that you don't want it sickening sweet. Subtly vanilla, subtly caramel. Wow, yeah, it's drying pretty quick. It's still a little wet. Fresh caramel. It would be really unhealthy if it was the traditional way. But this is great. I'm happy with how it turned out. I've got to stick this in the fridge and finish cleaning out this pan so that it doesn't become a disaster. And then I'll be back later. Stay tuned for the Snickers brownies and all the other cool stuff we've got coming up. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. I saw someone else gave one. I appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Merry Christmas to all.